Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we are cutting right through all the noise. We have literally watched hours and hours of lessons from the most popular English tutors on YouTube, all to bring you the one secret pattern they all use to teach real, confident conversation. Let's break down the exact three-step system that's going to take you from just listening to actually speaking.
Does this sound painfully familiar? You're watching all this English content, you totally understand what's going on, but then, the second it's your turn to speak, you just freeze up. It's a super common frustration, but believe me, the good news is there is a clear way to get past it. So we basically did all the homework for you. We sat down and analyzed hours of videos from the biggest channels out there to find that one shared technique that actually, gets results. And what we discovered was really interesting. When you look past all the different topics and teaching styles, you see that the most successful tutors, well, they follow the exact same, simple, three-step pattern to build speaking skills. And today, we're going to lay it all out for you. Okay, so step one is all about building a really solid foundation, right? Before you can just riff and improvise, you need to master the basics. And that means learning let's call them scripts, for the most common, predictable conversations you're going to have in your day-to-day life. Just think about it for a second. Ordering a coffee, checking out a book from the library, buying groceries. These are the universal building blocks of conversation. And the top tutors focused on these scenarios because they give you language that is immediately useful, language you can go out and practice today. See? This isn't some abstract grammar rule you'll forget. It's a practical, super useful phrase for a real-life situation. By mastering these kinds of scenario-based lines, you start building a whole library of expressions that are ready to go, and that is a huge, huge confidence booster. Okay, so you've learned what to say. Now step two is all about how you say it. This is the step that really separates that kind of textbook English from a natural, flowing conversation. So what's the secret ingredient here? What's the fastest way to get there? Well, all the best tutors point to one incredibly powerful, active technique. And it's not about just listening, it's about doing. And here it is. It's called shadowing. This is the absolute core of the technique. The goal isn't just to repeat the words, it's to mimic everything. The speed, the intonation, even the emotion behind them. You're basically training your mouth and your brain to make the sounds of English in a really natural way. And here's how you do it right. First, just listen. Catch the melody of the sentence. Then, try to speak with the native speaker, not after them. And hey, don't worry about getting every single word perfect. You're aiming for the flow. And like all the tutors say, repetition is absolutely key. Doing it again and again builds that muscle memory for fluency. And here is exactly why this is so powerful. You don't just learn words, you learn the culture of the language. A textbook might teach you, would you like a cup of tea? But shadowing a British speaker teaches you the much more natural and friendly fancy a cuppa. That's the difference we're talking about. All right, so you've learned the scripts, you've trained your fluency. The final and maybe most important step is to make it personal. This is where you move beyond just repeating other people and start expressing your own thoughts, your own life, your own story. Now, the best tutors make this super easy by giving you a simple framework. They suggest starting with these basic categories. They're simple, they're universal, and they give you a structure for talking about yourself in pretty much any kind of introduction. And you can see right here how two totally different people, Paul and Emily from the lessons we looked at, can use the exact same framework to share their own personal details. It just shows you how flexible and powerful these simple categories can be for creating your own unique introduction. So the key is to build your own introduction, using this as a model. It's a simple, friendly template that shares just enough information to start a real conversation. Seriously, try it for yourself. You can even pause and do it right now. Okay, so let's bring this all home. We've covered the 3 essential steps. Now it's time to focus on what matters most for you, putting this method into practice and having your first real conversation. So here it is, the entire method, all on one slide. It's so simple. First, you master the language for everyday situations. Second, you use shadowing to make your speech sound natural and fluid. And third, you apply all those skills to talk about the most important topic there is, yourself. And please, remember this powerful idea from one of the tutors. You do not need a classroom. With these techniques, your phone becomes your language lab. Every podcast, every video is a chance to practice shadowing. And every quiet moment you have is a chance to practice telling your own story. Because ultimately, progress comes from action. Your path to speaking English fluently and with confidence doesn't start tomorrow or next week. It starts right now with a single conversation, even if it's just with yourself. So the only question left is, what will you practice today?